This week, the world saw the end of a friendship that came at a high price. The sworn friends of Kiev and Warsaw exchanged recriminations, complaints, and even embargoes. A member of the Polish Sejm billed Ukraine for aid, 101 billion Polish zloty. Well, frankly, it would have been cheaper for Zelensky to book Paris Hilton as a public girlfriend, not Duda. But what do the sworn friends disagree about? After all, their main shared idea, Russophobia, has not gone anywhere. And the fact is that Kiev has screwed the European Union for grain money, thanks to the favor of those very bloody Muscovites. Remember the buzz of Western countries. They said Russians did not allow Ukrainian grain to get to the starving people in Africa. Only Africa never saw that grain. Ukrainian grain remained in Europe, being 70% cheaper than the similar Romanian grain, because Ukraine was then exempt from import duties as part of a grain deal. So Ukrainian grain was sold out more readily despite lower quality. But the European grain was left to rot. Thus, Kiev screwed the European Union. By a conservative calculation, there are more than 400 million euros in losses. Ukraine, on the other hand, earned more than $8 billion in duty-free sales of cheap grain in Europe. Understandably, the grain scam of Europolitics was not appreciated, and a ban on imports from Ukraine was introduced. They want to extend it, although the European Commission has sort of found a compromise and is in favor of extending imports. Poland and the rest of the EU's agricultural players are uncompromising. We will continue to ban the import of Ukrainian grain despite the lack of EU's approval. And here began a competition to see who is Washington's favorite pet, Poland or Ukraine. Kiev sued the World Trade Organization over Warsaw's ban on importing Ukrainian grain, realizing that without a permission from the US, the WTO is unlikely to support it. Oh, the money hunger can ruin a soccer. It would be good for Ukraine to remember that it receives assistance from us and that we are a transit country for Ukraine too. Ukraine receives weapons and humanitarian aid from all over the world through Poland. Yet good neighborliness has been reproached throughout the world, and in general the Polish leader compared Ukraine to a drowned man pulling his saviors down. They are not talking about the Volyn massacre to Ukrainians yet. Naturally, the Ukrainian authorities, in their best diplomatic traditions, continued public battles. In the coming days, Ukraine will impose an embargo on agricultural products from Poland in response to the unilateral embargo on the import of Ukrainian grain. The ban will affect onions, tomatoes, cabbage, apples, well, very sensitive items for Polish foreign trade. Of course, Ukraine's embargo produces the same effect on Warsaw as dementia pills on Biden. It is important to understand. Poland itself is a major agricultural player in the European Union, especially at a time when in European agriculture, Holland, Ireland, Germany and part of France are at risk of experiencing agricultural shortages in a year or a year and a half. Poland is happy to take its profit from eco-friendly and hungry Europeans. Nothing personal, but Ukrainian ambitions are forgotten as Warsaw will fight for the European market. And considering that you can't take anything out of Ukraine by sea and rail without going through Poland, this Ukrainian war is doomed to fail. If Ukraine wanted to ban the import of Polish fruit and vegetables, it should think about the Polish ban on the export of arms and ammunition to Ukraine. Ukraine is probably too good at war with Russia if it wants to start a trade war with Poland now. Threatening Ukraine with a trade war, not Belarus, not Russia, but Ukraine, who was saved and not saved from a corrupt junta, what a side effect of the grain deal. And it is no longer surprising that Poland found toxins in Ukrainian grain. Warsaw threatened to suspend the Ukraine's accession to the European Union because of the grain fraud. It is not surprising that the planned meeting of Polish and Ukrainian presidents Andrzej Duda and Volodymyr Zelensky on the margins of the UN General Assembly was cancelled. The Polish press found the dumbest excuse. They said that Duda didn't have time. Guys, they'd get the fugitives to get creative. They'd spread the news that it was Putin and Lukashenko who tied Duda to a battery in a New York hotel room and prevented him from going out to Zelensky. Duda, in general, on the eve of the political uncertainty, tries not to compromise his reputation with friendship with Zelensky. The ruling government has shocked Polish farmers with its unprofessionalism. If Morawiecki is now talking about the embargo, the question is, why didn't you impose it a year ago? Hypocrisy. You brought the farmers to collapse. Let's not forget, there are major corruption scandals in Poland. Parliamentary elections are coming up, and the ruling party, with declining approval ratings, relies on the rural population, farmers, and small towners. Of course, in practice, the Polish politicians will do what they will be ordered to do. But they keep on making loud populist statements in the best tradition of Euro officials and using other dirty elements of the political struggle. So Ukraine cannot simply be an ally helped by trade concessions. Ukraine is becoming a bargaining chip in the hands of Polish politicians. Today they make big statements on trade as well as claims to the western territories of Ukraine. But tomorrow, how will the Polish internal political struggle proceed? And won't their resounding statements turn into real actions, turning the Ukrainian territories into just Poland's resource base? See more political analysis in our Telegram channels.